Okay, let's start at the beginning. We have the Emperor. The Emperor is upside down. Now, this may stand for an Aries. The Emperor card is an Aries. Can be the Aries card as well. Or it can just stand for someone that's very strong in your life. Because the Emperor, he's like the highest of authority. So this may have been an authority figure. It is upside down, so there may have been a challenge with this authority figure. It does feel like the inheritance card is on top of this, so you might, or I should say the abundance card, so you may be getting an inheritance from someone that has passed over, someone that was maybe the leader of the family, or there may be someone that is ill in the family that you are caring for, or kind of expecting a demise of this situation. But it does feel like a person. It can be an Aries, but it does feel like someone of authority. This can be a father, a grandfather, someone that is like the leader of the family. This can be the leader also of your work as well. But it's someone in an authority figure. And it does look like being upside down. It does feel like there may be a little challenge to the relationship, or they may be ill. They may be crossing into the light or have already gone into the light. With this abundance card crossing this can be the inheritance card, but for in general, it is the abundance card. When you open up your heart, you open up your mind, and you are willing and open to other situations. It also is the card of receiving. So you may have been gifted something either through a will or through a family member. You may have some gifting that is either coming to you or has come to you within the last month. The Ten of Swords is here. This does feel like it's a bit of a betrayal. It is right on top of the Emperor and the inheritance card, so there may be a little bit of static in the family. There may be a little bit of fighting in the family, a little bit of discord around how things should go. It does feel like there is, I want to say, like a new sheriff in town or a new situation in town. It does look like the dynamics have shifted within your nuclear family. So this can mean someone passing on. It can be a divorce, it's a marriage. It doesn't have to necessarily be a separation. But it does look like whatever the situation is caused a little bit of discord, a little bit of strife, and maybe a little arguing within the family unit, or just trying to get things back on track from where they were. And the 10 usually means the completion of something. So it does feel like you may or most likely have resolved whatever you were arguing about, or agreed upon whatever was kind of out of balance. It does feel like things are becoming more and more balanced for you as the month moves on in November, sweet Aquarius. We have the 6 of Pentacles here. This is one of gifting, you gifting someone else. It does feel like that scales are lighting up for me, so make sure that this person is worthy of whatever generosity you are gifting them. It does feel like it has to do with money. It may have to do with things. The pentacles are usually earthly things. So it does feel like your money may be getting a little bit more in balance. It does feel like it was out of balance for a little bit, and that it's becoming clearer. It may not be completely in balance right now, but it does feel like it's on the move of getting more balanced financially for you and getting a little bit more comfortable in your daily life. So if it is an inheritance, of course, that would help things be more comfortable. As I said, it can be a new job opportunity, but it does feel like you've taken a step up and you're having this for your finances. So you may have finished paying all of your college bills or your loans or something. So it does feel like something is coming a little bit more in balance with your money situation. The Hermit is here, and the Hermit, unlike the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Pentacles is kind of like hiding from things, hiding from the truth, not looking at things. But the Hermit is like going to the mountain to get answers, or going within yourself to get answers. So it is a quiet time, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's that you're hiding away. It usually means that you're going to your higher self for answers. So you may have incorporated some meditation or some Tai Chi or even going back to church, but it does look like, or mountaintop, you know, it doesn't really matter how you get that answer. For those who walking in the atheist world, that may be just hugging a tree for you or going back to an activity that you really, really enjoy. But it does feel like you're kind of gathering your mental thoughts a little bit. I know Aquarius, sometimes you can stay in there a little too long and create some worry, but this doesn't feel like that spinning situation to me. This does feel like it created some spinning, but it does feel like you're coming out of that overthinking business a little bit. And the Hermit is here to kind of remind you to go inside yourself, for all the answers are within, is what I'm getting. And it doesn't feel like you're going to stay there too long, that you're going in, you're checking on things, redoing like a bucket list, figuring out what you want to do in your next step. So it does look like it's a bit of quiet time, but you're not isolating from the world. You're just taking some quiet time to get the answers for yourself. The next card in the future position is the Devil. The Devil is upside down. Usually the Devil is a temptation. So for those that have, you know, achieved sobriety, it's, you know, somebody offered you a drink. And, it's those little tests. They're only tests. Now this is upside down. And when the Devil is upside down, it does feel like feels like it's a little bit more clear. Your path is a little bit more clear. You're not being tempted, or you've been able to pass these temptations. It does feel like you have been able to right some wrongs recently, and that you are moving more towards into your greatness. And it does feel like you've left some of the sorrows and the sadnesses in the past. And what I'm picking up very strongly is that you don't want to waste the rest of your life being sad about things you can't change, that you're kind of going into your greatness and using the rest of your life for joy and happiness. But I do see some confusion on what that looks like, and that's why the Hermit is here, so you can gather your thoughts, figure out what way to go first. The Three of Wands is the basis of all of this. And this not only is like clearing out the things you don't need emotionally, physically, spiritually, but really simplifying your life. It also indicates waiting, a little bit of waiting before you're able to move forward. This water is lighting up for me. So it does feel like you're either looking at relocating or looking at taking a wonderful vacation near the water. I'm feeling some tropics. So it may be an island that you are either saving for or now looking towards to create a vacation, or even a move. But it's feeling tropical. It could be Hawaii if it's on the West Coast, or it could be the Caribbean. But I do feel that some check-in with, you know, a wonderful tropical island and some R&R, some relaxation, because it does look like you've done a lot of work. You've had a lot of emotional stuff that you've been working through the last 12 to 18 months. So it does look like planning for just some relaxation after all this hard work and all this emotional stuff that's been knocking at your door for the last year and a half or so. But it does in general look like you're starting to plan for the future a little bit more. You're not kind of stuck up in cleaning up what's going on in the present and kind of hovering just kind of in limbo a little bit. It does look like you have a little bit more permission to move forward. It does feel like with getting your money stuff together that this will be possible, but it does look like you're waiting a little bit and kind of collecting. You may be collecting some money or really getting your plans solidified a little bit. The Ace of Wands is here, and aces are always like hands of God. The wands really dictate action, and it's usually something that comes right out of the blue type of thing. But when you have the wands, wands are fire or action. And this is usually the beginning of some creative enterprise, can be a new job, can be an idea or a money idea, can be an investment that's been offered to you, or you looking at other things to invest now that the money stuff looks like it's getting a little bit more solid. So pay attention. Something's going to come right out of thin air. It does feel like an offering. So it may be a business offering. It may be an investment opportunity. Maybe buying property, as I said, because there's feels like there may be some movement here for many of you Aquarians. You may be moving within the next year or so. So pay attention. See what is offered to you. The death card is right on top here. This can be physical death, and this Emperor upside down. So for many of you, someone very important may have left your life within the last couple of months. So it does feel like there's a little reeling in this past energy. And the death card usually is the completion of something and the starting of something new. It can indicate a physical death as well. So it does look like that you had something big happen in your life, some big change happen in your life, an ending of something. This can be a marriage, relationship, friendship. This can be an argument within the family, or it can actually be a physical death. And I am feeling that strong energy. So I know a lot of people were passing into the light from the summer and are still passing into the light this year. So this may represent a physical death for you as well, Aquarius. If not, this usually is an ending of something that was very important and usually the beginning of something else. The Wheel of Fortune is above here as the culmination card, and the Wheel of Fortune is a very lucky card. It's a 10. So now's the time to take a chance, take a risk. Did you always want to like fly a plane? Did you always want to learn how to basket weave? Did you always want to ask that certain person out at work? It's a very lucky time. Buy a lotto ticket. So jump into the things that you've always wanted to try, but maybe you didn't have enough bravado to execute it. So now is the time with this Wheel of Fortune. It's a very, very lucky time for you. So when you come out of the cave, Hermit, go buy a lotto ticket. But it does feel like take a chance. Take a chance on something new is what it feels like. The Page of Pentacles is on the other side here. You do have a number of pentacles in pretty intense areas. So it does feel like your money might have been out of line for a while. And it is coming back into focus. Pages are always about messages. If they don't stand for a child, this can be a child. It would be an earth sign. That would be a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo. So this may be a child that you are reconnecting with or having a good time with. This can be your child or someone in the family, or maybe it's your boyfriend's child or your girlfriend's child. But it does feel like there is an earthly connection with a child that brings you great joy. And the other interpretation of this Page of Pentacles is this is messages about money. And it is right side up. So it's usually good news regarding money or material goods, worldly ambition. So maybe you applied for some jobs and we'll get information about, an interview, something opening up. But this is usually a very good message, either about money or material goods of some kind. On the other side here, for clarity, is the Three of Swords. This does feel like your heart took a hit. It does feel like it was something in the past and that you were continuing to process. It is kind of bubbling to the surface, so it does feel like you have processed quite a lot. So this may not have happened a month or two ago. This may have been last year, and something that you are continuing to process. It does feel like there may be the possibility of a friendship with an ex. This can be, it is a heart, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a love intimate, a sexual partner. This can be someone that's just very strong in your heart. This can be a friend or family member, but it does feel like you were betrayed in some kind or felt a heart pain. I shouldn't just put it out as a betrayal, but it does feel like either a breakup or a shift in love energy that you took a big hit on. And it does feel like you've been hibernating a little bit since then, but you've been, putting things together and seeing how life is going to work for you moving forward. It does feel like it's getting a little bit more resolvable. It does feel like you may even have developed a friendship with either this ex or this friend that you kind of have made your distance from over the last 12 12 months, could even be 24 months. But it does look like it's kind of bubbling to the surface again, and so you're able to heal some of that. You know, when our pains come up again, it's really an opportunity to resolve it and to really let it go. So it does look like it's no longer holding you back, but it is kind of, some of these feelings are bubbling up to the surface. It's not a bad thing, but it does feel like you are continuing to resolve some of these issues, and it does feel like some of them might be unrequited for many of you, not all of you. So that's your general reading, and I'd like to throw these Lovers Oracle cards. They're a little difficult to shuffle, so we'll do that one. Let's see what they have. Surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. This is kind of a validation of this card too. It's time to really let go some of that sorrow, why it didn't work out or whatever. Just surrender to it. It will, if this relationship is meant to be in your life, it will come back to you. It may morph. It may not be a lover. It may not be a best friend or the same importance in your life, but it does feel like just letting go and surrendering will really help you heal this heart space and move on from that.